Hey everyone, it's Pete Young and Kate Brascio here from
Hi.
Remax Professionals. And hang on, what am I looking at the middle camera? We want to give you another market update. This one is for February.
March.
Is it April?
Yes.
Okay, let's start over. I can't believe it. We just want to do a quick market update here for March of 2026. And we're going to be comparing it to March of last year for the most part. So when we look at that, what's going on, Kate?
Sales are down 13% right now.
18%, I thought it was.
No, 13.
13. Okay, oh man. I'm sorry. One more time.
That's okay.
13. I don't know why I don't trust you.
Sales are actually down by 13% right now.
Sales are down 13%.
Sales are down,
And the
yes.
good news is, so is inventory. Well, it's funny, when you talk about markets, it's like good news for who? Right?
Yeah,
Because the sellers
it
have a different
depends.
view of the market, of course, than the buyer would.
Yes,
If we're seeing
exactly.
excess inventory and prices are coming down, buyers are cheering that on, especially first-time buyers. If you're not
Yeah.
in the market yet, it's hard to get in.
Yep.
But yeah, so what we're seeing though is inventory, like new listings are still down
Yes.
from last year, down about 15% from last year. So the market is, where it was really a buyer's market is actually becoming more balanced than it was. But in terms of total inventory,
Total inventory, we are actually up.
yeah.
Yeah, almost 5%.
Yeah,
compared
which-
to last year.
Yeah, and as you and I have discussed in these several times before, it's all really in one market segment, isn't it?
It's the apartment condos.
Yeah.
That's where it's happening. the
Apartment
most.
condos, there's so much inventory building up in those.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've been saying, I think the apartment condo market is only going to get worse over the course of the summer. So
Yeah.
I'm not telling anyone to not buy yet. But if your primary focus in buying a condo is as an investment, I would just keep your powder dry and wait a little bit. It looks like prices could be coming down even more yet. And, the more guys like us say that, the more it's going to happen, unfortunately. But I just owe you the facts on this, right? I mean, there's still so much
Absolutely.
inventory coming on. Now, mind you, it's not nearly as bad as Toronto or Vancouver, right?
No, Toronto is actually, how much?
They're at an 80. They're 85% lower than their 10-year average in
Yes.
sales of new condos.
That's wild.
And in Vancouver, they have, get this, 11,000 unsold condos available. Now, they're not on the market. What they have is what they call a shadow market. So some builders and stuff just haven't even put them on the market yet. They're holding on.
Oh, yeah.
They got a building for sale, but you'll put 2 or 3 on the market, try to attract people and sell them more units when they're in there and that kind of thing. So, yeah, the amount of condos available right now is going to be causing some price declines. I'd forecast, even in Calgary, which is kind of one of the only provinces that is still growing in population.
Yep.
So, time will tell how much prices will come down, but I'd suggest, August, September, you're going to see prices even lower than they are now. So in terms of month supply, we're up a little bit, right? We're up about
Yeah.
20% from
We're-
last year.
We're up about, only 20% up from last year. So that's almost 3 months of inventory that
Which
we have.
isn't terrible,
It's
really,
not.
right?
It's not. I mean, actually, sorry, you mentioned Vancouver. I just
Yeah.
want to go back to that.
Sure, yeah.
Because in Vancouver, in the last 3 months, they've only actually sold 121 condos.
In a quarter.
In a quarter, sorry, in a
Yeah,
quarter.
and normally they would sell like 6,000
6,000,
in a quarter.
exactly,
So yeah,
yeah.
no, thanks for bringing that up. That's how
Yes.
bad it is there.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's a little bad here too. And the reason it's bad in Alberta is a little bit different because
Yeah.
the condos in Vancouver and Toronto have been building for years. This
Yes.
excess inventory. We're in Alberta where we have a much shorter permitting time. A lot of these were built like in the last year or so. So I've been mentioning this on LinkedIn as well. It's kind of like, we had this population explosion, right? When we're bringing in 1 million, plus a year into the country. The builders, and the builders are told, we need to build, from the federal government and stuff. So they pull their permits and they start putting shovels in the ground and building condos like mad. And then all of a sudden immigration is shut right off.
Yeah.
It's like demand has been shut off as we're building all this supply. It's like I'm a free market guy, but at some point the government has to take some responsibility for
Yeah.
encouraging everyone to build like mad. and then having all these developers stuck with all these condos. I'm not sure what the solution is, and I'm sure the market will sort it out over time. But the problem with that is I think we've got some really good developers here in the area that are going to be hung with inventory and are going to have some financial crises.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and including some of the most respected developers here in the city, guys that, came here with nothing and built their businesses with their families and have done really well. So time will tell how this is all going to shake out. But in the meantime,
Exactly.
that's where it's at. So in terms of total residential price, though, what is the not the average, but the benchmark price done over the course of the last year?
In the course of the last year, the benchmark price actually has gone down about 4.2%.
Yeah.
So that's sitting around 565,000.
565,000.
Yeah, for the total residential price.
Yeah. I remember we were over 600 for a while, right?
Yeah.
I think
Actually,
so.
yes, we were.
I think so,
That
yeah.
was a couple months, well, maybe several months.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's such an interesting market because, again, going back to LinkedIn, I did a post about this about a week or two ago. It's like we're seeing absorption rates in the detached markets come down. Go up, and the absorption rates in condos come down. So,
Yes.
we're actually seeing, the detached market is down 3.3%.
Yeah.
It's down to the average price of like 740.
740.
Right? But apartment condos,
Is down 9.3%.
heading down to 10% down again
Yes.
because all this excess inventory. So
Yep.
I suspect, by the way, here's my prediction. It's one thing for realtors to tell you what happened. You can read that in the paper, but I think sometimes people go to us to sort of give us some advice as to what this means in terms of the future. And I'm saying that prices of condos are going to be coming down. I'm suggesting that prices of detached houses, especially within some of those market segments, could even be going up.
I agree with you.
Time will tell,
Yeah,
but
I do
we're
agree
actually
with
seeing
you.
the absorption rates go up in the detached market. And of course, it depends on what area of the city,
Exactly.
whether your detached house is a $600,000 house or $1 million plus house.
Yeah.
But, for the most part, we're seeing the absorption rate go up in all segments of the detached market
Yeah.
and down in all segments of the apartment market. Yeah. Semi-detached has actually been performing probably
Yeah. I mean,
the best, at least the least
gonna
negative.
say, I'm like, how do I word this?
Yeah.
The least negative. That's
Yeah.
a smart way to word. Almost 1% down compared to last year, the benchmark prices. So that's sitting around 686,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be semi-detached. So that's not, that's your duplexes, right? That's not your
Exactly.
townhouses and stuff like that. It's down less than 1%, which is pretty good considering the market, even nationally.
Yeah.
Townhouses are down a little bit more than that. They're down
Yeah.
6.5% or 6.2%.
6.2%. Yeah.
Yeah, which is, again, it's always one of those things. We talked about this last time too. It's like when the pendulum swings too far in one direction, within one market segment, it'll swing back too far the other way.
That's true.
And I remember when townhouses were going up so fast, the townhouse prices, I mean.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. That was what?
about a year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember this conversation.
yeah.
we
Yeah,
were
the
talking
townhouse
about
prices
this.
were just going crazy, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But now they're down 6.2%. Again, just a reflection of them going up.
Well, when we talk about the different areas of Calgary, like you said, the pendulum swinging. Remember when we were talking about the Northeast
Yes.
being really good in sales, and now where are we at with?
Well,
Northeast?
not only sales, but their prices were going up so
Yeah.
fast. When
Yep.
when things were booming, a couple of years ago,
Yes.
we're like, what is going on here? The average price in the city was going up, 5-6%, and then the
Yeah.
Northeast was like 8, 9, 10%.
Yeah.
And now we're
exactly.
seeing the pendulum swing back the other way, aren't
Exactly. Yeah, you just said it. Now it's down 8.2%.
we? Yeah,
That's crazy.
pretty dramatic.
Very dramatic. Yeah.
And then the North is the same thing. It's down about 7.5%. And I
Yes.
think the other thing that might be affecting this, I don't know this for sure, I could look into it, but, in the Northeast and in the North, there's a lot of new builds. And they are
There
kind of in the
is.
starter area. So I
Yeah.
think if those are coming onto the market, and there's also a ton of apartment condos
Yes,
being
yeah.
built up in the North.
Yeah.
You take Stony Trail around the city and the amount of apartments you see up in the North now, it's
Yeah.
like,
All
whoever
these
would have thought there'd be an
multifamily.
apartment village up here in the North, but Yeah, apartments in the north and northeast, and of course, like we said, the price went up the fastest.
Yep.
Where the prices were kind of stable the most, like downtown in the west.
Yep. The West, it hasn't even really changed that much. Not even a percent, 0.2%.
Yeah,
Yeah, 0.2%.
yeah, 20% of 1%. Isn't
Yeah,
that what that is? I'm no
Don't
mathematician,
ask me
but
the questions. Too early in the morning.
yeah. Yeah, and we weren't that good at math. One of my favorite realtors from when I started selling real estate over 25 years ago,
Yeah.
he said, oh no, that's not even math. That had more to do with arithmetic. But he always said,
Oh.
you don't need to spell to sell. And
That's true.
because my spelling was so bad, I worked for Remax Professionals. I remember the broker coming to me at one point and saying, we have to write Remax Professionals on the listing contract. Can you spell professionals professionally? Because I was doing it with one F or something like that, and it's
Oh
too
my
so embarrassing. I'm like,
It is
and
one.
of all the words, well, then I was doing it with two.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it's two. Oh, shoot.
No, it's one.
It's one. Okay, then I was
You
spelling it
got
with
me
two.
questioning my own English right now. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, and then the rest of the market is, roughly around the 4% kind of thing. So
yeah.
in terms of how much the prices have come down. So prices are coming down all across the city. The warning I say about that is the problem with looking at averages is it's not everything.
Exactly.
It's condos are dragging everything down. So detached are down, nominally, but it's really the apartment condo
apartments.
market is dragging everything down right now. So the good news for that is if you haven't bought a property yet in Calgary, I was looking at some national statistics this morning, and we're still like way cheaper than any other major city in Canada. So people here can go, oh, it's so expensive to buy a house. It's way cheaper than Vancouver, Toronto, or some of these other places. So it's still a good place to buy. And like I said, condos are getting more and more affordable. If you're thinking of buying a condo within the next year or so, talk to me or Kate. Our numbers are below this video, or they'll put them on, like Lydia will put them on the
Normally
video.
she
Or
puts it on the video
Yeah.
somewhere. We just point, and then she does this, and then she'll
Yeah.
like here, like right here.
Yeah, the phone number will be here.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally that's what we do. Yeah.
And then sometimes she just ignores us and just puts it in one place or whatever.
Wherever
but
she wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's my daughter. She does whatever she wants. So anyways, that's what the market looks like now. If you want to know what your immediate market looks like, whether that's a neighborhood or a style of house, whether it's a townhouse or a condo or a detached house, get in touch with me or get in touch with Kate.
Yep.
We're happy to help you out. If you even want like a market report sent to your inbox, dropped in your inbox once a month, and you want to say, I live in Beddington or I live in Mount Royal, and I want to know just my postal code or just my community, what's going on in here on a monthly basis, ask us for it. Just send us a quick email or text, whatever. We're happy to get it to you. The reality is, if you're only looking at realtor.ca to see what comparable homes are, you're only looking at the ones that haven't sold.
Exactly.
So to really know what the market's been prepared to pay for your house, you're better off, getting in touch with us. Send us your email address, send us what you want, and we'll get it to you. We can get as specific as you want. If you say, Pete or Kate, I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo in Lower Mount Royal, and I just want to know what those ones are selling for, and I only want concrete buildings, and I want to make sure that they have an underground parking stall, because that's what I have, and I'm around 800 square feet. We can even narrow it down to that, and then send you comparables in Lower Mount Royal that are in concrete buildings and have 2 bedrooms, 2 baths with it. Anyways, we can send them to you immediately, whether they're listed, pending, or sold, just so that you can really track the market. So if you're sort of waiting for a certain price point to hit the market before you purchase and stuff like that, get in touch with us. We have tons of info, and we're happy to share it with you. So get in touch with us. We're happy to send you whatever market info you want. In the meantime, peace out.
Wow, that's new.
What?
Peace out.
I know. I'm trying to be cool.
Like, you do peace out and you do A-Town.
Really? What's
Yeah.
A-Town?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's like it's like part of a rap. You go, peace out. A-Town.
But is my kids going to be embarrassed if I do that?
Absolutely.
I embarrass them all the
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. Don't do it.
Because I'm so riz.
Okay.
Yeah, so riz. And in fact, I'm what's the word? Alpha riz, I think, because I got aura or something.
No.
Anyways, thanks guys. Get in touch with us anytime. Happy to chat about real estate.
Okay.